As we learn to build our lives, again, we must, point number 2, it's also the title, we must trust the ones that know. So here's how we do that. Number 1, under this subsection 2, get wise counsel before and during your build. Get wise counsel before and during your build. Proverbs 15:22 says the following: plans fail for what? For lack of counsel. Your plans will fail if you don't seek out some help. Now, don't get me wrong. I know you know some things, but there's always something you don't know. And our plans will fail for lack of counsel. But with many advisors, they what? Succeed. If you're anything like me, you don't appreciate losing. Succeeding is necessary. The drawings are the first thing, right? That's why God says to write the vision. Write down the vision on a tablet that you can run to it. The drawings are necessary. You've got to know what you're going to build. I mean, unless you're an artist and just going with the flow and you're drawing and the painting can come out like Van Gogh, you're all good. But when you're building up a life, there's things you don't know. You've got to get help from somebody who does. We can't build a home without a drawing. You can't build your life without the same. Every step of the way has a different specialist as well, right? When you're in elementary school, you got elementary teachers. Middle school, you got middle school teachers. When you're at those same grade levels or high school, now you also got not only teachers for math and this and that, but now you've got coaches for your extracurricular activities, right? Like your math teacher, unless they were also your gym coach, they're not training you in the sports and your athletics and your caretaking of your body and your health, right? Every area has a specialist we've got to learn to rely on. We've got to learn to rely on them. How many of you guys ever skip the instructions when you open up a box of something to build? Come on, raise your hands. Raise your hand. All you guys follow instructions. All right, we do. And we've shared this before, and this is no trick. How many of you guys have pieces left over? And you realize when you do look at the instructions, you say, there should be no pieces left over in the instructions. And you like, Trust the ones that know. Why? Because they know. One of the things I've also learned during this journey is that, how many of you guys can agree with me that the right tools make all the difference? Right? Have you ever tried to hammer in a nail with a wrench? Because it's the only hard thing you had around? Couldn't find a hammer? Okay. I'm not the only one. They have the tools that are needed, and they know how to use them. And here's something that's really interesting that you guys got to know, and this is going to help us for those of us who have trouble asking for help. Even the ones that know trust others that know better. Like, stop thinking you know it all, even if you do know it all. Like, even the ones that know trust others that know better. Like, you might be, if you're an athlete, you might be a baller, just like straight out baller. But there's always somebody who knows better. Are you hearing me? As many of you guys already know, I'm an attorney, a lawyer by trade. I think I'm okay as a lawyer. I still have my firm open and whatnot, right? But there's always somebody who knows better. And even I got to call hey, what do you think about this case? What do you think about this matter? The ones that know trust in others that know better. My GC, my general contractor, the same one that asked me what you want to do here. You know why he was asking me what I wanted to do? Because he knew I was thinking about doing it. But he was allowing me to still be the boss, right? To still be the head of the job, even though he knew if I did it, it probably was a big mistake. But I told him, you know what? You charge me better than the plumber does. How about you do it? You know how to do it. He said, I know how to do it, but I don't do it. I don't know if you're hearing me. The general contractor knew how to get it done, but he knew that there was somebody who knew how to get it done better. Are you understanding me? There's always somebody who knows how to get it done better. So even the ones that do know trust the ones that know better. Are you hearing me? I knew how to lay down tiles in the bathroom, but I called my boy Chris. I said, Chris, you better come on over because I might mess this sucker up. because he knew better. Proverbs 11:14, where there is no guidance, the people fall. But in an abundance of counselors, there is victory. In what? An abundance of counselors. Like, you don't just need one person telling you how to help you out in your life. Whatever area. You need several people and those who know better. But here's the key, right? You can have all these people telling you everything you need to know. And yeah, you should do it this way, or you should do it that way, or that's the wrong way. Or how about you try it God's way? Because what you've been doing has been your way. And maybe God's way is a better way. All that's good counsel. But if you don't listen to it, it's worth nothing. Proverbs 19:20. You guys ready? Proverbs 19:20. It's going to hit. Listen. Listen to advice. Just stop, but leave the verse up there for a second. How many of you guys have problems listening to advice? Why is she looking at you like that? She's like, you don't even want to look over. How many of you guys have problems listening to advice? That's the first step. He says, listen to advice and accept discipline. And at the end, you will be counted among the wise. How do you get counted among the wise? By what? By listening and accepting discipline. We can't get past the listening part, but we want to be wise. We need to listen and accept the discipline. The word discipline here doesn't mean, it does, but it more importantly means correction. See, most of us, we don't want to listen because we don't want to accept correction. Why don't we want to accept correction? Because we think we're right. You understand what I'm saying? So it becomes this vicious cycle. You don't want to listen, and you don't want to accept correction because you think you're right. But the whole reason why you needed to listen and the whole reason why you needed the advice is because they knew you were wrong, but you don't want to accept it. So we stay building a life that was not meant to be. Are you hearing me? We've got to not only listen, but we've got to accept it. We've got to accept correction. We don't want to because we think people are trying our character. Yes or no? We think like people, if they tell us what we don't know, they're telling us we're a bad person. No. They're just telling you that, you know what, maybe somebody knows it better. And that's okay. Maybe somebody's got some advice, some wisdom, got some miles on their life that they can tell you how to not wear your tires out so quickly. Are you hearing me? The most coachable people, if you think about it, in terms of athletics, the most coachable people are often the most successful, aren't they? If you allow yourself to be coached, you will be successful. If you do not allow yourself to be coached, what happens? You're not going to get that far. Same thing goes with godly and spiritual matters. If you allow yourself to be discipled, your godly walk, your godly life will be better off. If you allow yourself to not be discipled or to take and listen to advice from those who might know a thing or two, I'm not saying they're perfect, but they might know something that can help you. If we're not going to be coachable, if we're not going to be, how do you say this, discipleable? Sound okay? Works, Raquel? Go with it? If you're not going to allow yourself to be discipled, then it will be difficult.